Welcome back. Well, there are over 300,000 pharmacists in the United States. Even though Hispanics are the largest minority group in the country, they still only make up about 5% of that pharmacist population.
Our Madeline Salinas spoke with a pharmacist with more than 30 years of experience and professor at Texas A&M School of Pharmacy. He says having a professional who understands and relates to a patient's cure and culture can often make all the difference.
Over at the Irma Rangel School of Pharmacy in Kingsville, Director of Recruitment and Associate Professor Dr. Juan Jose Bustamante knows a thing or two about the importance of mentoring students.
And so it's a big difference when you have that mentoring and talking to people, and meeting the right people at the right time and really showing them what they can actually do and what they can actually be, and then even give them a dream. And so that's a big thing that drives me.
Bustamante remembers when he finally realized just how important he was to young students that had a similar background to his.
I was working with the Endocrine Society, and they had kind of these little events where they would bring in underrepresented minorities. And in this group, there was only 2 Hispanic women. And they go, and these are high school students. They tracked me down and said, "Sir," and they started asking me lots of questions. And I was just kind of curious. And they go, "You're the first person I ever seen that looked like me that had a PhD." And that changed everything. That made it like I didn't realize that.
How does it feel to have a PhD and then to mentor these Hispanic students that come through the pharmacy school? Can you kind of tell me a little bit about that?
I tell them all the time, I'm you, but you're ahead of me. I tell them all the time, I'm not smarter than you are. I've just been doing this for 30 years. You haven't. You're at the beginning, and you're way ahead of me. Where you're at, I'm 10 years later is when I started what I was doing.
Regional Healthcare Director for Walgreens, Rick Fernandez, says that having someone you can relate to isn't only important in mentorship. It also carries on into pharmacy practice.
For the patients to understand that the person across the counter in the pharmacy can relate to what you're talking about, as simple as even sharing language together or understanding the culture. I don't know how many times where someone asked me if I speak Spanish, and it was always the lights went up in their eyes when they said, I would say, "Yeah, dígame, por favor."
Bustamante says that identifying with your pharmacist forms a different level of trust that can positively affect a patient's experience.
And so if you have someone that looks like you on the other side of the pharmacy, you got this kind of like, okay, they look like me, and then you build up this trust. And then if you can actually speak and be bilingual and speak in the same language, then you even build more trust. And so the care of that patient goes up.
Thank you, Madeline, for that report tonight.